Hi, I'm Anna Garrett. I'm one of the co-founders of Medipreneurs, and I also own an online business called drannagarrett.com. And I help women who are wanting to create a different experience of perimenopause and menopause, find a different path using natural alternatives, cleaning up their lifestyle, doing epigenetic coaching, and some life coaching. So I create a whole package for those women who are struggling maybe to find hormonal balance. But I want to talk to you today a little bit about my journey and how I came to the Medipreneurs family. I started out in pharmacy as a hospital pharmacist. I did a residency and created my own position as my residency project. I was in infectious diseases, and I also was a preceptor for internal medicine. And I did that job for about 7 years, and I decided it was time to move on. And I went to work for Merck and did that for 6 months and decided that I didn't really want to be a glorified caterer, which is exactly what I felt like. So I sort of muddled around and did some technical writing and found myself at a small community hospital, again doing antibiotic management, and met a physician who wanted to start clinical pharmacy services for a large physician group in High Point, North Carolina. And he asked me if I wanted to come start a Coumadin clinic for them. And I said, well, of course, having absolutely no experience in ambulatory care or in Coumadin management. But it was the kind of challenge that I really wanted to take on. And I stayed in hospital and ambulatory care for probably another 10 years and decided I wanted to have my own business because really I was bored. And so at the age of 50, I struck out on my own and started this business. Now, I started it while I was still employed full-time. So I didn't make this quantum leap, which I think people think they have to do when they start a business. But that's not true. You can start small. You can have a few clients or whatever it is you're wanting to get into, and then you can incrementally get yourself out of your full-time job if that's the way you want to go. So I know that many pharmacists are risk averse, myself included, in some ways, but there are so many opportunities out there. There are pharmacists who are doing what I'm doing in the thyroid space. There are pharmacists who are in physician offices. There are pharmacists doing functional medicine consultations. There are pharmacists who are doing health coaching and nutrition consultations. So there's a whole spectrum of things that are possible out there. You don't need to get paid by an insurance company. There are plenty of people out there who are willing to pay for your services if you market them the right way. And so one of the things I did when I first started was I hired a business coach to help me out because I knew that I would get farther faster if I had somebody who had some experience and had made some mistakes to help me. So that is an area I'm planning to get into next, to do some business coaching with people or pharmacists specifically who want to be creating startup businesses. So that's a little bit about my journey. Next week you'll hear from another Medipreneur and how she got to where she is. And I'm so looking forward to seeing you guys in Asheville. So please plan to attend the Medipreneur Summit April 27th to 29th. 2018 in Asheville, North Carolina. You can find out much more about that event, who's speaking, and all the registration information is on our webpage, which is Medipreneurs with an S on the end.com. So we'll see you soon.